you can't visually see it, does not mean it isn't there. So you go over it with this bit to make sure you get everything. Today's nail tips are sponsored by Amore Beauty Nail Supply. I'll have her shop linked down below. Do long. Yeah. You can do right now. It's not getting me. I love that song. I ain't did nails this long in a minute. For real. Yeah, okay. I shade all of the nail tips just like so on any sets that you see when I use clear tips, and almost all my sets I use clear tips. It's the reason. It's really not necessary, but you know, it helps you to see more. So now I'm going to cut starting from the bottom, and I'm going to look at the entire nail. Like, I need this nail tip to look like it's growing from the sides. Like, you know, it's growing with your natural nail. It's not going too wide out. See right now, if you look at the nail tip itself, it's very wide. So that's why you're cutting the sides, to slim it in and make it a nice shape. Now don't rush this part, okay? Notice how I'm kind of hesitant before I start cutting, because I have to position it right. You know, you have to look at your angles, and the only way for you to really see it is to look, you know, stop, visualize it, stop and really look at it. You can't do this mindlessly, or you can, you know, mess up the shape. Now, the average gal might stop right here and say, you know, this is slim enough. This is square. This is my shape. It's not. I have to get the other side, and I have to go in even more slimmer than you think it needs to be. And that's the secret code. That's the formula. And if you think it needs to be slimmer, go slimmer. Oh, those are cute. Sorry. Okay. So to encapsulate, I'm going to take a large bead and place it towards the middle of the nail and work it all the way down. I'm not patting the acrylic away, I'm patting the acrylic in place. Okay, I'm striving hard for evenness and smoothness. Gently work my brush and work the acrylic, and to get it to behave how I want, and I'll plop that bead. This is really my favorite part to do. I love doing that. It's so satisfying. And look at the thickness. Taking my Amore Beauty White Glow in the Dark, and guys, wait till you see how this glows. This really glows. So I'm taking a large bead and placing it towards the middle of the nail, and see how I wipe the bottom to get everything flowing smoothly. I work my bead down. Notice how I pat, pat, pat. I'm patting down, working that acrylic downwards. I'm not swiping it off, but I'm kind of moving it, but with ease. A tip for flawless cuticle application: you want to place your bead near the cuticle, not directly on it, and push it up towards the cuticle. That is the best, most effective way to have a nice, flush, not bulky cuticle application. I'm adding multiple acrylic beads because this monomer, I usually use a Young Nails monomer, but lately I switched to a other monomer I showed in my previous video, and it doesn't build 100%. Like some certain monomers I can have like one acrylic and it'll be thick enough, but it wasn't too thick. I like how thin it was, I'm not gonna lie, but I did have to add another bead or two to build the nail up, so it wasn't flat. Because we take our time with each step, we don't have to do much filing, so we just go in on the sides to slim it in to where we made it wider with the acrylic, and we're not going to do too much filing. We go in on each side and then we do the bottom, and we should be good to go. This is something you want to do carefully and mindfully. It doesn't take much to overfile and mess up the shape, so you're really just getting it in line. Here I'm just using a decent amount of Zule Bling adhesive to adhere my rhinestones.
The wedding is at the top. Go to the top, see the wedding.
Hey.